Hello everybody and welcome to another video, and today I will be making my first ever podcast, I guess, the Infozone podcast. This is going to be a weekly podcast series where I'll just be discussing anything, mostly politics, and I'm going to be using this video as an introduction to the podcast and what I'll be doing. First of all, I'm going to try to put this on Spotify if anybody really wants it. And yes, this is on Google Slides. So I'm going to just have this logo in here and not really put any visuals on when I'm talking. But I do want to, if I'm citing a study or something like that, I'll switch to a different slide. But for the most part, it's just going to be the logo, so you don't really have to stay on this tab. So the visuals will mostly consist of this, but I also want to answer questions during this podcast. So, like, whenever I have a podcast, of this video, in the comments, ask your questions, and I'll answer them in the next podcast, and I'll show the comment on screen. But that's mostly it for what I'm going to be showing on screen. I want to talk a lot about the future of the country during this podcast, at least for the first few episodes, because I think that the future of the country is going to be a really important topic to discuss, and hopefully it's going to be interesting to listen to. I'm going to be also talking about the current social divide and a lot of topics like feminism, and I just want to look at it from a new perspective with this podcast, and hopefully it's a very enlightening experience. And I think that's really it for what I'm going to be doing in the podcast. I am going to call the podcast Unscripted because I really don't want to go on a script. I did record, I told, 2 videos ago, I was talking and I said that I was making a rebuttal video against the channel, and the whole thing was scripted. It took 3 days to make. It was really hard. I deleted the video. Well, I deleted the file because I was going to upload it, but I decided not to. It was a rebuttal on Knowing Better's video about a straight white male's guide to feminism and social justice. I think it was a pretty bad video, and I didn't really address the points, so I decided not to post it. So after deciding not to post it, I've kind of changed, not becoming any more feminist. I'm not at all leaning left. I just don't feel like I'm leaning as much right. My principles are pretty conservative, and economically, I guess, socially, I'm more liberal. So I'm more of a moderate. But I still consider myself a Republican. just not the kind of Ben Shapiro and Milo Yiannopoulos and Candace Owens, people like that. I just don't like how they phrase it and their mentality, because it's a very dangerous mentality. So during the podcast, I think that I want to debunk some videos, but in an actual thoughtful way. So maybe it will be part of the podcast or just its own video, because I'm working, well, not yet, but I'm thinking of a video about a certain channel, and I want to respond to one of its really bad videos. So I think that's it for now. Thank you so much for listening to me. And the podcast will be, I'll try to make it 20 to 30 minutes. It could be longer, but I won't go over 45 minutes. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.